Welcome back. For some, it's just a fun way to pass an evening, but for others, gambling can become a serious problem and even an addiction. So today, we wanted to learn more about this addiction, from what causes this addiction to how to get help. Joining me now is Dr. Rochelle Head-Dunham. She's the Executive and Medical Director from Metropolitan Human Services District. Thank you so much for being here.
You are so welcome.
I am so glad we're talking about this because, listen, before I started my career, I worked at a gas station.
Okay.
And the amount of people who would come in, buy these lottery tickets, go out to their cars, scratch, whether they win or lose, come back and get some more, it was so alarming to me. And I'm so curious, in the medical sense, the mental health sense, when does it become an addiction? Because I feel like a lot of us like to play a little lottery here and there, but then it gets problematic.
Yep. And for everybody, it's not necessarily a linear path. So some people can gamble all their lives, and it never is an addiction for them. So that's the sort of controlled, responsible gaming. That term is often used to categorize everybody can learn how to be a responsible gambler. That's not true, because gambling is not very different from substance use disorders. And we call this an addiction because it's not substances. Substance use disorders are drugs and alcohol, right? But just like some people, we understand, just can't drink and be okay. They can't use drugs and be okay. And there are other people who can. Gambling is the same thing. Some people just cannot, because it is truly a neurobiological brain disorder, which is characterized by an inappropriate incorporation of what they need as a result of the experience of gambling. So it's a whole different neurological set of triggers that are going off and or being, wiring gets changed in the brain with addiction, right? It's the same thing with gambling. And what gambling has consistent with substance use disorders is that it's a series of consistent behaviors. Behaviors like neglecting responsibilities, continuous use despite problems, cravings to do it, actually doing it without any logical reason or ability to control it. Like when you gamble, or when a responsible person gambles, many people go in and say, look, this is what I'm gonna spend.
I'm gonna spend $20.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And that's all you're gonna spend. You might spend 40, but it's not going further than that. If I'm up. If you're up, right. So making the mistake that gambling is more than entertainment, it's about making money, is a real problem.
It's so true, and you all are seeing the definition of what a gambling addiction is, and there are some other words that a lot of professionals use, right, when defining what gambling addiction is.
Absolutely. It's a continuous, and you shared some of those just a few minutes ago, but it is a continuous engagement in the behavior despite the problems that are occurring, but it really is an uncontrolled drive to gamble.
And there are some stats that really showcase how bad it's getting here in our country, right?
Now, these numbers are probably low estimates, because most of the time it's not even known that a person has a
because they're not telling.
They're not telling, and it's not like drugs and alcohol, where you can see when somebody is intoxicated, right? Or they're loaded eyes and all that. You don't see anything, right? What you see is the end result, which is sometimes suicide. They often have co-occurring substance use or mental illness 30 to 40% of the time.
Wow.
So that is also being treated with the gambling, because, you know, you go in a casino, the noise, the energy, the drinks, and all of that stuff is a draw for the brain to engage in that.
And it's difficult.
And it engages in it without time. So casinos are set to elude time. No windows, no clocks, none of that, right? But 1% to 2% is what the stats will tell you of adults have a compulsive gambling disorder. Children higher, 3 to 4% reported.
Wow.
Now these are low numbers,
right?
Because
not everybody reports.
Because not everybody reports. Now, internet gaming is even higher than that.
And it's so popular.
That's the problem. Here's the other thing too, the online betting is killing us.
It really is.
It's killing the kids.
We just had the Super Bowl. So many of my friends were checking every 2 minutes just to see, am I up, am I down?
Yes. And so that is really has been kind of like a game changer for the whole gambling, the stats around how many people are suffering with this problem. Because it is very deceptive, the thought that you can have a chance to get rich. You know what I mean?
And you can be anywhere because it's online.
On the phone.
And you
on
really
the
gave
phone.
a great definition and some great examples of what the signs of a gambling addiction look like. We want to show you all a visual, but let's talk about help, right? There are
Yes.
resources out
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
What's one that you suggest to people?
Yes. So there's a new online support tool called Evive. It's a software that you can load onto your phone, and it can help a person with any gambling scenario. So some people know already, I got a problem, right? Because they've fallen, couldn't get up, right? Over and over again. So they know that they need this online support, counseling, support tools, and so forth that they can go on there privately. A lot of this is private, so it needs to be in a private place for them to get help. But what about people who, I'm not sure, I gamble, but I don't know if I really have a problem.
Exactly, right.
I'm not sure.
Those people I met at the gas station.
Well, them. If they downloaded the software, it'll help them understand what it means to have a problem gambling, and to put them in the space of, well, you really need help too. And then for people like family members, because this is a family disorder, just like substance use is. One person uses or one person gambles, but everybody who loves them suffers at some level. So this also helps family members what to do, what to say as a family member. How do I support them? How do I take care of myself? Because this is killing me too. And you know, gambling, unlike substance use, is more likely gonna create a financial collapse.
Absolutely, and that's
Right?
what's so important to note, that responsible gambling is the way to go. Dr.
Yes.
Dunham, you know I love you. Ooh, you are so smart, and look, everybody, if you need to talk to her, you need to talk to her staff, guess what? Metropolitan Human Services District is just a phone call away. Their number, 504-568-3130, and for more information about all the services they offer, mhsdla.org. All right, stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back.